From now on, we have one simple mission on this YouTube channel, and that is to finish the structure of our new aluminum sailboat as fast as possible. The reason for that is because we hire a professional welder called Peter from Robland, the factory where we currently live and where we are currently building the sailboat. But Peter said that he has a lot of time this year, but next year he's going to be really busy and he won't have as many hours a week for us as this year, and that's why we're trying to put as many hours on the building of the boat right now as possible so we can finish before he's busy. And this week we're going to start with a project that was supposed to be the simple one, because Peter never used our new welding machine and we wanted to have a project that is simple just for him to experience the welding machine a little bit, for him to try and to experiment with the machine. And the perfect project for that was the cockpit. The cockpit was fully tack welded, and there are all different kinds of welds in the same project. There are horizontal welds, there are uphill welds, there are edges, there are corners, everything in the same project. And that's really good because as soon as he finished the cockpit, he knows 100% the welding machine. By the way, thanks so much Everlast for giving us a really good price on the machine. Without the welding machine, we could not keep going. But of course, nothing goes as planned ever. And what was supposed to be simple, it became really complicated really fast. As you can tell, we're already grinding and welding again. That feels just awesome. It works. We have a welder, things are moving on, but we had a problem. We couldn't find the right disc to grind the welds. And my friend, Chris, always saves me. He brought this amazing disc. Check this out. Can you hold for me?
I'll hold this for you. These are really good. They're basically like tungsten carbide tips for welders and fabrication. These guys are boat building people.
Oh, they're boat building people?
Yeah, they're for aluminium boat builders.
Ocean footprint. You guys are awesome. If my friend Chris likes you, I love you. That's pretty much it. And we're just gonna try our product right now because we really need. It's really hard to clean aluminum sitting here for like 6 months outside, so it's really important to have something to clean the welds.
Let's go.
Awesome. Let's do that.
What do you think about that, Peter?
It's quick. That's amazing. You just touch the weld and just like kills the weld straight away. To do chamfers on like long welds, it's gonna be, that's like a game changer.
It's gonna be much quicker.
That's amazing.
And also, you're gonna be much closer to the corner itself.
The good stuff is you don't get the grinding dust in your chest. It's bits.
Oh, it's round actually.
Yeah.
So that's actually meant to do chamfers. Like you can do like chamfers, like literally open, like it's almost a V shape. It's like round. Like
it's perfectly for if you have a mistake and need the weld to repair it.
This first day was just amazing. For a long time, I was scared of starting a relationship with a new welder. It seems silly, but starting a working relationship with a new person can be challenging because you need to work the same way, you need to be on the same page, you need to want the same thing, otherwise it just doesn't go forward well. And you never know, we're in a different country with different culture. I never worked with him before and I'm like, please work. I really want this to work out well. And luckily, this first day of work, Chris, our good friend Chris, that is also a boat builder, was here. Was really good to have him here, as Peter is not a boat builder, he's a welder, and he got to get a lot of tips from Chris, and that means a lot. It helps a lot to get information from someone that actually worked on boats before. And that was really good to, as you say in Brazil, to break the ice. I'm just so tired of things not working out that I'm like scared that this was not gonna work out, and this first day was just awesome. That's so cool. We are officially building the boat again. I feel so happy to see that anything we do to the boat now, it means we're closer to finishing the build of our new boat, and that's awesome. Yesterday we managed to weld most of the cockpit, so all the horizontal welds are done. Now I just need to grind this off and to finish to see if we have any fixing to do. And today he's gonna do all the vertical welds to finish all the welds of the cockpit, and in this way the only thing missing would be to build the hatches of the lockers. We need to figure out what's the next step. For now, let me do a test and see how good the finish is. So the first day of welding was really awesome. We got a lot done on the first day. The second day we got even more done, and then it came the third day. That's when we realized we did a big mistake, trusting the work that was done to the cockpit. This cockpit has a lot of history already. I told the boatyard dozens of times, weeks and weeks, saying, hey, the angles of the cockpit are wrong, the angles are wrong, the angles are wrong. So they tack weld the entire cockpit with wrong angles. Let me go to the cockpit because it's going to be easier to explain that. So when you build a cockpit, you need to build a drain for the water that comes with a wave or with rain to drain out of the cockpit. By law, by certification, you need to have drains. So that means you need to build the cockpit in a way that leads all the water to the drain. In our case, these are the drains. So that means all the angles of the cockpit, for example, the seat, it needs to have a little slope towards that way. This one, same thing, it needs to come down to the floor, and the floor needs to drain to the drain. In theory, when they tack weld the entire cockpit back months and months ago, I told them, I put the level and like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. And they said, oh, don't worry, that's gonna be fine. And they keep tack welding, and then the angle keep wrong. So eventually they listened to me and they changed the welder during the cockpit, and the new welder said, oh, no, that's all wrong. So he cut all the tack welds, and he tack weld all over again. A week later, it's all on the wrong angle again. And for the next weeks, I just keep complaining about the angles of the cockpit, because I know I lived in a boat before, and a boat that doesn't drain the water properly, it becomes a nightmare. A simple one, for example, every time you sit on the cockpit, you get wet because the water didn't drain properly. Or for example, if there is water sitting on a corner, it will have corrosion eventually, you're gonna have trouble. It doesn't make sense, it needs to drain the water. So the second time didn't work also. So I told the boatyard when they asked for a next payment that I would only pay if they fix the angles of the cockpit. And their answer was, the angles are fixed, everything is corrected, so we did the payment. When the boat arrived here, I believed on what they said, and Peter started welding straight away. 2 days later, we realized that the angles were all wrong, but this time, instead of just tack welded, it was fully welded. When I say fully welded, I mean fully welded everywhere. And that is a nightmare because it's much harder to take anything apart if it's fully welded. If it's tack welded, it's simple. And that means that we learned the wrong way on the third day of work that we cannot trust anything we see tack welded. If it's tack welded, we need to measure 20 times before to make sure it's right before we make a mistake of fully welding, because many of the times on this boat, they just tack weld things in place for us to pay. That's the reality, unfortunately. We were talking about a boatyard that was going down and down and down, and they want payment any way they can get, so they just pretend to be making progress by tack welding plates in place. So we need to actually make sure things are right. So that means we needed to cut all apart again, and we cut this entire seat out, and we need to start from scratch. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. If you need to cut the seats out, you cut the seats out. You are not gonna finish something that you know it's wrong and leave it wrong. You need to fix it, and that's how we roll. At least we're gonna fix that. For a long time I wondered why did the boatyard stop building the cockpit and went to the roof. Of course part of that's because they want us to make a payment, and when you show a roof it shows progress on the build. But now we figured out that that's not the only reason. The reason is because all the angles, they don't freaking match. The seat was like straight down was like all wrong, and now that this is all aligned, all fully welded, we moved to the starboard side, and on the starboard side of course we have the same problem. So check this out. The gap should be this, and when you get to here that's the gap, but when you get to here that's the gap. And what we believe is that this bulkhead is crooked here, so it should come a little bit this way on this end, and on the center should come this way, but also this whole line should go that way on the bottom and stay as it is on the top. It's a freaking nightmare. We might need to cut all this off. I think that's the only solution. I don't know. I cannot think about anything else. We're gonna talk about that, me and Peter, and we'll figure out what to do. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. It's gonna be good in the end. I don't even know how to describe how we fix this seat. This is like a sculpture now. We needed to cut a slice off the top. We needed to bend this plate. We need to put some clamps to make sure we keep the position. And also we needed to cut some release cuts. So what I mean by release cuts, I don't know if you see here this little mark. So this plate was like all bent, but there was no space for the plate to be straight. Sometimes there is more plate than space, and that means we need to create space. And in order to create space, Peter cut a slot here and create another weld, and when the weld shrink, it made this plate smaller than it was before, and now we have a flat plate, and that's awesome. Check this out. Fully welded, grinded and welded, fully welded, welded. By the way, even though all the hatches for the lazarets are all in place, they're not finished yet. There is a lot of welding that needs to be done to the hatches, and also a lot of finishing to the frames. all the frames are welded in place, but they need to be grinded, sanded, and finished. And the reason why we didn't do that yet is because we are waiting for the hinges and locking mechanism that didn't arrive yet. And Peter wants to do that all at once when we have all the accessories here, and we're gonna do that later on. I also didn't show you the drains. I said we have 2 drains there, but in reality now we have 3. I added a 3rd drain here, and the reason for that is because the yard didn't send enough pipes to do both of the drains, and there is a certain diameter, a certain volume of water that we need to drain by certification. So we decided to install, instead of 2 70 millimeters diameter pipe, we install 3 60 millimeters diameter pipe. That means 180 instead of 140. That is a lot more drainage power, and also more guarantee of drainage, because this corner right there, I always thought that water can get stuck there because it's just a little corner. Even though the levels bring the water this way now, I think it's good to have a pipe there. It's gonna help, and also it creates a support on this edge of the cockpit, so I really like that pipe right there. As you can tell, we did a lot of progress on the boat already, and that's really exciting. I mean, there are even other projects that we've done that we didn't show you yet, like these cockpit seats, or the roof, or the forward deck. There is a lot going on. Before we go, I want to address a comment that we got last week. So pretty much what this person wants to know is if our channel became a members only channel. That means a channel that only people that pays for the content can watch the content. And the truth is, we are far from that. And I actually took the time to reply to him. And that's the answer I got from the person. That means the person understood what I mean and agrees with what I said. But the same way that person had that doubt, other people can have the same doubt. And I know I already talked a little bit about this on the last episode, but to be honest, I don't think I properly explained. I don't think it was clear. So the reason why we're not posting weekly videos anymore is not because of lack of content right now. Is because of lack of time. To put together one of these videos takes at least 30 hours, sometimes 40, sometimes 50 hours, and we don't have enough time on the week to do that every week and to post a video every week. Even if we have raw images, we cannot put together an episode. And on the top of that, we have a 13-month-old baby that is learning to walk, is learning to talk, and needs a lot of attention, and we want to give this kind of attention to him. We really want to enjoy good time with our baby, and also the building of the boat it's another baby, is taking a lot of time. I'm spending literally every day, all day in the boat, and when I get home, I work on the computer, I talk to the designers, I talk to suppliers, and all of that is to make sure that the welder doesn't stop. Because the welder, Peter, is really free for us right now until the end of the year, but he said that next year he won't be as much available as right now, and that means we need to get as much done by the end of the year as possible, otherwise we might not have a welder anymore, and that would suck. In order to do some of the projects, he needs a design done, or he needs a part from a supplier. For example, this week arrived the bow thruster and the bow thruster tunnel. Without the tunnel, he cannot weld the tunnel in place. So that means all of that takes time, takes emails, takes conversations, and that takes a lot of my time lately. And Roberta takes a lot of time taking care of Ollie, and when he's sleeping on his naps, she helps to edit some of the videos, and that means we don't have the time. So a lot of people ask, so why don't you just hire an editor? The truth is we don't have money enough to hire an editor. The amount of money that we make with one video, I doubt an editor wants to edit a 20-30 minutes long video with that amount of money, and that's not me begging for money. Far from that, it's not. We are the ones that chose the life we chose, but right now we just cannot afford. We need to do ourselves, and in order to do that, we need to slow down the edit. That's just the way it is. Yeah, but that can raise another question. How can we afford to build this boat if we don't even make money enough on the videos to pay for an editor? The truth is, we can afford to build this boat because of the savings we did by doing YouTube full-time for 8 years. We did over 360 videos over the last 8 years, and during this whole time we knew eventually we're gonna build another boat, and we always saved money aside, and that's the reason why we got this far on the build. Otherwise we would not be able to finish the boat. And to be honest, right now we don't have enough money to finish the boat yet. We have like 60, maybe 70%. The rest, we are just hoping that the channel goes a little bit better in the future, and we can do that. So if you can, just share our video, like, subscribe, you know, the whole thing, because it helps a lot. And right now we're just, I don't know, one of those leap of faith. I strongly believe that if you have a big dream, you just need to try, and that's what we're doing. We are working really hard towards our dream, hoping that we make to the end, and I do believe we're gonna make to the end. But then you ask, so how do you have extra videos for patrons? There is a huge difference in between the extra videos for patrons and the videos that we post on the channel, like the episodes. An episode is edited. We have progress, we build things, we have music, we have edit, there's like, I don't know how many clips that goes into one episode, but goes like 30, 40, 50 hours into editing one episode. A extra video for Patreon takes us 30 minutes to record and to post for them. Like altogether takes us 30 minutes, because it's a video that is not edited at all. We literally press record, we talk for 20, 30 minutes, and we press stop and we post for them. It's something that we don't do 2 takes, it's 1 and that's it. And these kind of videos, to be honest, it's a kind of video that is not for everyone. Not everyone wants to watch me sitting and talking for 30 minutes like right now. I guarantee you that a lot of people already drop off this video because they don't want to see me just rambling. And the videos for patrons, it's pretty much us doing brainstorms with them in real time, because these videos are like a month and a half behind real time. And the videos that we shoot for them, literally we shoot one day and we post the same day, and that means they always know what's happening up to date. But that also means that is not a kind of video that we can post on the main channel for a few reasons. First reason, 1 to 5% of the people wants to watch those kind of videos, and if you post a video that 95% of the audience drops off in the first minutes, it kills the channel. That means when we actually record an edited episode, no one's gonna watch because YouTube is not gonna distribute. So that means we cannot post those kind of videos on the main channel because it destroys the channel. Another reason is because a lot of the things we say on those videos, they're never gonna go through. They're just literally ideas. Like we literally share ideas when we don't even know if that's gonna happen. And for the majority of the audience, that's confusing, because you watch us saying, hey, next month we're gonna move to Belgium, and a year later we are still in France. And that's pretty much what happens. Patrons knew we were gonna come to Belgium literally a year before we actually moved to Belgium, and that's because it's dynamic. Life is dynamic. Like that's the way we move through life. We have ideas, we try new things, and we sometimes do what we thought we were gonna do, and sometimes we do the opposite because it's just brainstorming. You have 20 ideas for maybe one go through. Right now we have tons of those. You have no idea how messy this project is. Patrons do know, like we talk about that all the time with them, and that means really soon people would not trust us anymore because we say something one day, we do the opposite the next day, and that is really confusing for the normal audience. And the last reason is because somehow we need to value people that actually help us to get here. They deserve a little thank you note. We are really thankful for everyone that watched the videos, 100%. But we just want to say thank you for those who went an extra step to make sure our dream goes through, and that I'm really thankful for that. And don't take me wrong, I'm not mad. I can sound like it's just the way I express myself when I'm talking about something serious and I'm trying to explain a point. I just really hope you guys understand the thought behind the membership platform and the Patreon platform. By the way, nothing changed from 8 years that we've been doing that. We've been doing that for patrons for months and months and months. The only difference from now and before is that when we just do that for patrons, no one knows that we have extra videos all the time for patrons. So people don't complain because they don't know about it. The difference is that when we post that video on the membership platform of YouTube, it shows to everyone. And then when you see the thumbnail, that triggers you into thinking that we are just posting video for patrons. But the truth is, the reality is the same thing that it was always been, and you never saw that as a problem. You never saw that as a problem because you didn't see in front of you, because we've been doing videos for patrons for months and months and months. There are a lot of extra videos for patrons, and the truth is we are gonna still post the same thing because we just want to say thank you to all our patrons. You guys are just freaking amazing. And of course we do appreciate every single one also that watch the videos and don't support as a patron, because we understand that sometimes you cannot do it or you don't even want to do it, and it's okay, it's all good. We just want you to enjoy the videos, and we just get a little bit sad when people write comments that we know are not true, we know doesn't represent the reality. And no, our channel didn't become a member only channel, far from that. Anyone that wants to watch our videos, it's always gonna be free. Every video showing actually work, actual progress of the boat, it's always gonna be free on YouTube. It might be 2-3 days before for members, but that's just a perk. It's gonna be free right after. Yeah, but now less talking. I think you listened enough. I hope we don't need to go back to this subject anytime soon. I just want you to understand. For now, happy days. I see you on the next one with a much bigger problem. It seems like in the first episodes of the boat it's gonna be fixing problems, and the next one is a really big problem on the bow deck. The bow deck was like this. That's big one. See you on the next one.